Brooklyn Squad, Brooklyn Squad, Brooklyn Squad. Ooh, grrr. I'm gonna wait for a few. It is dark in here, right, y'all? I don't know. Hold on for a second, y'all. I think that's a little bit better. Hey, Kathy B. Rising, rising, my beauty. I'm trying to peel my little tangerine here. And I got some watermelon and some water on deck, y'all. I'm gonna wait for a few to see if anybody come in. Anybody else come in? Welcome, Brooklyn Squad. Kathy B, hi, babe. This is deep today, y'all. Let me just go back a little. Hold on, y'all. You know, I'm in my office, which is my bedroom. So this is deep, very, very deep, very, very deep today. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of shit. Okay. First off, I want to say thank everybody for always hitting the likes, always looking out for your girl, um looking out for my reels on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm popping over there on Facebook. If y'all don't know about it, y'all gotta go check me out. I'm just, thank you a lot. I really do appreciate it. I also have Anchor's podcast. Yeah, I really gotta go check out my podcast. Every detail of crimes on here is on there. Okay. And now I have to put this one on there as well. All right. So welcome to Brooklyn Squad. The name of this platform is Brooklyn Squad Real Life Drama. Okay. Um, if you new, welcome. Thank you. We've been expecting you. If you've been riding with your girl for a hot minute, thank you. I appreciate it. You know I do. And thank you for supporting the victims. Thank you for riding for the victims' families, because what I mean by that is you're here. You're here and you're ready to listen to what they have to say. You know what I mean? And that is a lot, because for many years, no one was listening to them. And they have a voice as well. They have a voice as well. These new stories that come out, a lot of people thrive to them because they're the stories that's getting a lot of attention. You know what I mean? And I don't have to call stories out because that's not fair. But we know the stories that's getting popularity attention. But what about the stories that's back that nobody's talking about? What about those? What about those grieving sisters and brothers and mothers that's been for decades and years and years that's been trying to get their story out about and no one's been able to hear them? What about them? So I want to say thank you, Brooklyn Squad, for giving this young lady a chance so you can hear what she has to say today on this platform, because actually she's one of us. She's a subscriber. So she's family. And Miss Davis is family. And I'll be interviewing her today. And this is the second part 2 of the interview. But before we get started, I want to say thank you for welcoming her, everybody. There's some hectic shit going on behind the scene, and I'm going to tell you about that also. But before I get started, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. That's very important. I really appreciate y'all. I know y'all check out the videos, the reels that I be doing, but please hit them thumbs up, okay? Also, subscribe to your girl. You know, tell your friends about it. Share the video. The more the video gets out, the more people will get the help that they need. Because what you're going to hear today is going to blow your mind. When I tell you, you're going to be like, hold up, wait a minute. Shut your mouth. You said what? The police is doing, oh, excuse me, allegedly what? Yes. So hit subscribe, share this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to donate something to my platform, my Cash App is right there where my little cute face is. Jazz, money sign. Wait, yeah. Jazz and the money sign. That's my Cash App. I don't, that's if you want to. I do appreciate it. Every little bit counts, but let's get to it, okay? Justice for Adrian. Okay, now, if you don't know part 1, let's just go back a little. Now, I was going to wait for a few to get people in, but they're going to have to press rewind. I've been saying a few days ago that I was going to go live at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. Actually, it's 5:08. And if people come in, I could always just replay what I said. I don't have a problem with that. But let's go with it. Miss Davis has been one of my subs for a very long time, right? She's been one of my subscribers that was hidden in the back, right? And when I say hidden in the back, I mean that she never came for the front, so you would never know that she was really here. But she was always hitting the thumbs up, always showing love, but she never came up to the platform like we are, like how I be like, y'all want to come up to the platform? Like she never did that, but she was always showing love, right? But she never said anything about her story, but she always showed love to other parents about their stories. And I'm going to give you an example, Jelani Day. When I started doing Jelani Day's story, right? And shout out to Stay Dangerous and Ms. V, because that's how I learned about the Jelani Day story, right? When I started talking about Jelani Day, Ms. Davis was over here like really hard. Like she was just coming in and I noticed she was like dropping some hints, dropping some things, right? Like how the cops is corruptive, how Miss Jelani's mother wasn't getting the attention that she needed, and just a lot of things she was saying, but I don't think we was really paying attention, let's be honest, right? But what she was saying is because she was going through the same exact thing, right? She was going through the same exact thing. I haven't ate nothing all day. It's 5:10. I'm diabetic. I'm gonna eat my fruit. Okay. Now, I am gonna bring her on here, but we're gonna talk about a little about what's going on. So one day I was talking about a story up here, and she came up to the front and she asked for a phone number. And we was trying to figure out why she couldn't get the link up here, right? Why she couldn't get the link. Make a long story short, right? Gave her my phone number. We started connecting, right? The cops has been stopping every move this woman has made when it comes to trying to get her brother's name out there. Let me read you the police report. I received this, and I have it. Okay? I have been had this, her information. It was mailed to me. So they didn't know that. Okay? I cannot. This happened in Richmond County. Augusta, Augusta. Y'all know I can't say certain names, certain things right. Augusta. Okay. I received a call at 0302 hours from Gold Cross EMS Dispatch on Saturday, July 14th, 2012. This happened July 14th, 2012. Gold Cross Med 24 and RCSD car B30 and other members of the facility team were on scene prior to my arrival. I observed that the sea lying prone in the medium of the Dean Bridge Road at mile Parker 11.5 at the following observation were noted. The deceased pupils were fixed and dilated. His skin was warm to the touch. He had a large laceration measuring approximately 11 inches on the crown of his skull, and his skull appeared to be distorted. His hips appeared to have been dislocated. Yes, you was here, Kathy. Yep, you was here. But check this out. So his hips were located, right? Dislocated. The deceased were wearing white tennis shoes, blue jeans, a white t-shirt, light colored outer shirt. There were no street lights nearby. The moon was at the third quarter, and there were no skid marks at the scene. I spoke with the subject that caused the accident, who did not wish to get involved and is only known as, allegedly, TJ. TJ said that he was southbound on Dean Bridge Road in the right-hand lane when a vehicle flew past in the left-through lane and struck the pedestrian who was walking in the median. The vehicle pulled over by the landfill for a second, then looked like he cut off his lights and disappeared. TJ described the vehicle as a champagne-colored Ford SUV with the left light tail light out or missing. That is all he knew. Some pieces of that headlight and the driver's side mirror assembly on the roadway. Now, allegedly, TJ, what was he doing there at 2:30 in the morning anyway? First, TJ says that he didn't see anything, and I have another report saying that. He says that he didn't see anything, but then he saw something. So obviously TJ was scared to say something, right? And he said he didn't want to he didn't want to be involved. Okay. Okay. That's what happened at the accident. Hey, Shell Nation. Hey, babe. Mwah. Let's go back a little. So he was hit by a vehicle. Right? Supposed to be a champagne colored vehicle. So let me just show you what the vehicle was supposed to be looking like. Something like this. But back years back though. So it would have been something like this champagne vehicle. Headlights would have been messed up. Rooftop would have been messed up and the door would have been messed up. They could have found the car if they was looking for it, right? Yeah, but they didn't. 2:30 in the morning, he was hit by a vehicle and left there. The cops did nothing. This happened in 2012, we're talking, right? 2012, July 14th. Now let's go back. Adrian was in a relationship with a lady named Janice. She was very controlling. If I can't have you, no one can. She was the type that climbed over fences to get to your house. Okay? She was very attached to him. You wasn't gonna leave me, nigga. You wasn't gonna leave me. She was so attached to him, she ripped up his paperwork, his important paperwork, his ID, and everything. That's why if you look at the thumbnail picture, that's the only picture that Miss Davis has. And you cannot even see his face. You can't see anything really. I asked her, "That's you have no pictures of him that's clear?" She said no. The girlfriend ripped up everything. Adrian told his sister he was afraid for his life and that she should keep some of his paperwork just in case if anything ever was to happen to him. I'm eating tangerine. Since 2000, okay, and 12, since this murder, not accident, excuse me, since this murder has happened, they have shut Miss Davis down. I have reached out to one of the detectives, the chiefs. I told him who I was, and I was here to help her. He was surprised. And this is when we did the first interview on her. I said I found the woman because their thing was they couldn't find Miss Davis, the girlfriend. I said, well, I found her. I gave him the information. I've been trying to contact this chief since then. Even a few days ago, he's never contacted me back. All of a sudden, Ms. Davis' emails are deleted. She cannot get on the internet, guys. That's why she's not on here. I have to call her to do the interview so you guys can hear her. They have even stopped her from going to the media when it first happened. If you look this article up, you're not going to find only a tiny little thing like this. When I said to her, send me some information the other day that we had already had talked about and was discussing in her email, is gone. And how she know is them is because his name popped up in the bottom of in the bottom of the a white thing. She said like it was clear white, but then his name kind of popped up. She's gonna explain it to you though. I'm going to have her on the phone, but I just wanted to explain how usually we can do the fate where she could come up here live and do an interview. She can't because they're messing with her. She can't. So I have to call her and you're going to hear everything that's going on. They have what are they going to do next? Why now? Why now? Because she has someone in her corner that's getting the story out. Because I called the chief. And I know that this is real because last week I was talking to her on the phone and I said, hold up, is your phone tapped? Because I can hear stuff in the back. Like you can hear stuff. And that wasn't the only time. I heard stuff before that, but I never said nothing to her. Then that time I was like, let me ask her because I know I'm not bugging out. And she said, I've been trying to tell you, they messing with me, girl. And I said, that's when I said, oh no, something's got to get done. This is unbelievable. And as the weeks and the days went on, we started getting more information and we started talking more. She went to the email to download me the information that she had downloaded me a while back, and it was gone. Kathy B, when I tell you it was gone, Cheryl, it was gone. It was blank. Blank. She tried to, I messaged her last night to check on her. I text her. She couldn't even get that. So the only way she can get us is if she calls me from her phone. Because she can't get my text messages either. Why are they doing this? I would only think they would do this if they had something to do with her brother's murder. Her brother worked out in cars, I believe. We're going to hear from her now. I'm about to call her. But I wanted to let you know why you're not going to see her face on here. It's because she can't, because they stopped her internet shit. She can't go on YouTube unless she goes on, look on the TV. We got to keep her in prayer. And if y'all know how she can reach for help, let me know, guys. Because I can't believe this. At first, I was like, maybe this is not, maybe it can't be really, But then when I heard that thing on the phone, you can hear walkie-talkies on the phone. And I said, is your phone tap? And when I said that, everything started changing. Emails started disappearing and everything on her end, not my end, but on her end. Shit just started disappearing. Why do people go to great length to shut somebody up if they don't have something to hide? That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Exactly, Cheryl. Exactly, Mama. Exactly. Come up here with me, Cheryl Nation. If you're not busy, are you busy? Maybe you can give her some advice. She's on the phone. Because I'm going to call her now. Ouch. Okay. Let's call her. Let me show y'all the road real quick where he was hit. Oh, yeah. Before we even call her, her brother's wallet was gone. At the scene, he had no wallet. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so his friend said he went to drop her brother off at the store, right? You can't. Okay, babe. Okay. All right. So the friend said he went to drop the brother off at the store. 2:30 in the morning. Okay. You went to drop her brother off at the store and he wound up on the highway dead with no wallet. He went to the store, but you haven't have the wallet. And his medication was all over the floor. Why would he have his medication in his hand anyway? If he was just going to the store. If he was at home and he was going to the store, why would he have his medication in his hand? This shit just don't make sense. If I'm at home chilling, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna get me a whatever, I'm coming straight home. Why the fuck would I have my medication in my hand? Or was he not at home? Was he hanging out at some friend's house, picked up his medication earlier that day? Instead of going home, he hung out with some friends. That's bullshit. They didn't drop him off at the store. Let's call the sister. This is the road. Can't really see it, but it's the only thing she has, guys. And let me remind you, this was her only brother. That was his only sister. It was only those two. It wasn't like they have, my brothers and my sisters. Like it was just those two. It's so dark you can't really. But that's the road. But let's call her. Hopefully they didn't stop that. I just spoke to her before I got on live just to make sure her phone is still on because I'm scared for her. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm really scared for her. And someone told her you should leave this case alone if you want to still keep your life. I agree, Kathy.
Hello.
Hey, Miss Davis. We're on live.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Can y'all hear her, everybody?
Can they hear me?
I think they could. Let me see. If you can hear her, just write yes in the comments down below. Yeah, they should be able to hear you, though. Yes, they could. They said, hi, sweetie. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Kathy B. Hey, okay, Tracy. Okay, so I was explaining to them how the police is very corrupt. They cut your internet. They erased your emails. I mean, let's go from the top.
Okay.
How did you? Yes. Okay. How did you find your brother was killed?
That morning, Saturday morning, around 8, 9, something like that, the policeman came to my door because he's a policeman that kind of where I kind of live at an intersection in our home, and he kind of sits there and kind of patrols, so he kind of knows us, because he's like parked right there a lot, watching the traffic. And when they called it in, he automatically, when they gave him the address, he already knew where I lived, and he ended up coming to the door. But he came to the door and asked me, did I have a brother named Adrian Gardenhire? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, well, call this number. And the number was to the coroner's office. And the coroner, so I called the number while he was standing there. When he got the phone, he came back to the door. And he said, the coroner said, I'm sorry to inform you that your brother has been killed, and he was in a hit and run, and it was on Deesbridge Road, and he was walking in the medium now, and so forth and so on, and how that went, because I was just kind of going to that something when he came to my door. But anyway, that's how I found out, and then it went from there to me talking with the coroner, and and I had some questions and some things going on, and he told me that the Richmond County Sheriff's Department will be handling it, but they did nothing, and that is why I thought they were investigating, but from the very beginning, they just want to call it an accident and didn't want to do any kind of their own investigation at that time. They didn't go out to his house. They didn't ask, where was he within the last 48 hours, because that's protocol. And when I found out they weren't investigating, because I'm thinking they're investigating, that's when I went to going up the chain of command and having the meetings and just following through. And what you must understand is that I've been dealing with them for this 10 and a half years, and giving them information and, following up, and when they want to call it an accident, I said, no, this is murder, and I gave them information, and they followed up, and so they finally told me, said, well, okay, well, yeah, and all we're waiting on is to find Miss Janice Dunbar. It's the young lady's name, and everything will be taken care of. And after, getting all this information, once I started getting the information and seeing the contradictions and, all the red flags, and, and getting the police report and getting everything, and nothing, it was just all over the place. That's when I started getting retaliated against, because I had the information and I was following through. And that's what this whole thing has been about. They have all the information now. They have all of the evidence. They have everything that they need for this case. But rather than to do the right thing, because I was did the article, and I was on the news at one point at first, and that's when also in the middle of getting all the reports and all this and questioning them and that kind of thing, that's what came into play where they really retaliated against me then, because I knew the truth, and it became one of those situations where that's how it's been. So when I got the information, and if you saw the part 1 or whatever, where I was talking about when I went to get the records, and I had requested them, and when I went to get the records, because I saw things wasn't right, and the witness wasn't, was inconsistent and all this, and a lot of things going on, and I knew it was a murder, and it was a setup. So when I began to tell them and everything, talk to them, and I wanted the records, and they told me to come down there and get them. So, okay, I went down, and how much it was going to be. When I went down there to pick up the records, then they didn't know what I was talking about, and okay, you'll have to come back. Either we'll send them to you in the mail. Now, kid, I had to get a money order because you couldn't give them cash and whatever, a check or anything. You had to give them money order, and so I had got the money order because they have to tell you how much it is by the number of pages. And that's how they already knew that they thought I wasn't going to come and get them, I guess. So that's why I questioned them. I said, now you told me to bring this money up. So they finally took the money order and said, well, we're going to have to. I said, well, how could that be? Because you have to tell me how much it is and how by the number of pages. And so that's when I called, which was this news channel that was close to that was helping me put the story out there every year, a little snippet about, keep his name alive and everything. And I called them, and it's called 12 on Your Side. It's in what they do is just investigate complaints or call and look into it. And when I walked out of that police department, I called them right away, and they called them. And the person called me right back and said, well, I got in touch with them because they have to talk to internal affairs. I got in touch with them, and they said, well, they're going to send them to you in mail. If they don't send them to you, call us back, and we're going to keep check on you. At that point, that's when they went and put some kind of flag on my phone number, my name, anything. After that, the news channel, everywhere, they put it kind of like a. And how I know that, because the PI, if you watch part 1, the PI started working with me because he said pro bono, in which I thank God for that. Everything that I'm going through, I'm getting through it by the grace of God and His strength. But the PI had said, oh, you already have all the answers, and you done help solve the case and all that, and you all have the answers because we have it right here because, PI can see the whole case. The PI went and did what he had to do, and he brought in another PI with him that had been an FBI before, and they had got a list of cards and all this stuff. But where that turned around against me is because then he thought it was going to be easy case because he didn't know what I was up against with the police, and they are his friends. So then they said, we're going to turn over the list of car SUVs statewide over to them, and, because we got to work with them. That was their exact word. That means that we're not going to do anything else because we got to work with these people. Right. So after that, that's when they really, really, really just kept me from, I couldn't, just seeing myself go through these things. I was still going through it. I was still doing it. And that's what they didn't like, because I kept pushing it and still pushing it. And the problem is that I have all of the evidence, all the information. I have all the evidence, and that's what they don't like, because I have the paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one reason that they are doing this to me now, even more so. It's because of that, and also because I was able to get in touch with you all, the ones that can't, are kind of stepping in and, trying to look into it and helping right now, and they know that. And then I talked to the chief a few days ago, and he's like, he just went along with what they were saying now, and it's all turned around and everything. And I don't want to get all into that, but Miss Jasmine spoke earlier and said that she talked to Chief. No, she talked to Corporal Benson, and I'm gonna call his name because I can do it. She talked to Corporal Benson, which is the one that's been over the case this 10 and a half years, and I've been asking them to give it to somebody else if he can't do what he needs to do. And that was who she talked to. I think she said chief, but Corporal Benson, the chief, the majors, the sheriff, all of them. But the problem is also it's because they all friends. And the sheriff has not. He's black, Sheriff Roundtree, and he has not to this day. I asked for meetings with him and so forth, and he has didn't go, because in other words, they're more apt to their jobs and their reputation, rather than to make them do the right thing. And so what has happened is that they all friends, and I have been recently, because of, just like Miss Jasmine said, I was already going through all that, couldn't get nobody, and the only reason I get to talk to the ones that have been able to put a snippet or something out there on my brother or whatever is because it's like you said, I have to call from a phone, they have to call me from a personal phone. Right. So in the private, I said, the chief the other day said, "Oh, how could they put something like that on you and stop you from talking to me?" I said, "Oh, the private eye told me, and the private eye did tell me and verified that yes, they did, and that when they do that, they can't take that off. Nobody else can take it off because the private eye was going to try to go and talk and get that calendar, but when he found out they were all friends and what they were doing, he became a part of what they would do. He became, in other words, we're just going to turn it over to them now. But it's one of those things where right now I'm trying to do this real fast because I don't know if I'll get another chance to put anything else out there. I don't know what they're going to do next. But here's the thing is that what they did lately, they know I have all this information, and I've been back and forth with corporate business myself, and I talked to the chief and asked him, and so forth, and he was like, when I last talked to him, like, oh, well, no, nothing, and now they got all the information. They got everybody. They have the person now, information on the person, and so, but they could have got it from the beginning, but they just didn't want to. They just, doing what they want to do. But what happened is that, after all of that, and after I talked to the chief the other day, and he knows that I have voice recordings from corporate Benson, also of the things he said to me that proves that they can close this case if they want to. But anyway, then my emails, even if my Jasmine was trying to download hers because I had sent her some stuff. They have closed my whole, everything I put, I can't, Facebook, Google, emails, everything. When I was trying to email Miss Jet, the ones that I sent to her, they're gone. And then when I was sending them, they would come up, failure to send out or whatever. And then it came to my text. And on the text, I saw his name. And that's how I knew. I saw his name under there, and it said manage up under there. And then I turned around, and I can't text nobody, can't get nothing in, can't get nothing. Only thing I can do on my phone is the phone. It's And when I think too, they probably saw we were going live because see, it's to the point to now that I think they know that I have all the information also, and I'm getting people to put it out there. So that's another reason why that. Also, and then they could be involved with this, meaning that they could be involved with this person. I don't know the police, but whatever. What I do know is that that's why they are doing all of this, and that's kind of illegal. How can they? That's illegal. What they're doing, and so we're at this point right now, and I was just trying to go over some of the things, because some of the things that they have done is, they have abuse of power, just retaliation, falsifying records. Some of those legal documents that I got in the open records are not signed. All kinds of things, just disrespect, and there's just a lot of covering up. And just so many things that's going on till it's kind of like they're untouchable. And so that's why they don't want it out there. That's why they didn't want me getting back to the news and everything. But anyway, that's what's going on. And I'm open to, if y'all have questions, because it's just so much. But the whole situation was a setup. And I will briefly say what the setup is. What is that the person that's named Janice, that was supposed to be the person, my brother was trying to get her from coming around, and this happened weeks before. And finally, and he had called and made reports, and they had come out, and what they told him was they could not do anything because the person had mail coming to his house. So he was going to have to go down in 30 days and all that. So during this time, my brother let me know that in his own way that she was supposed to have been gone a few weeks before this happened. She was supposed to somehow just gone, left, the one coming around no more. And then this happened. So the person that, I want to clear up something else also. The person that took my brother to the store at 2:30 in the morning was, I'm just trying to explain some things, and I know you might not understand. That's why I want you to ask me questions, but I want to try to get everything out.
Yeah, go ahead. You good. It's okay.
One that took him to the store is at that time it wasn't like his real friend or anything. He just worked with him, did work with him. My brother, he wasn't a mechanic. I heard Ms. Jester. My brother was an entrepreneur. He had his own carpet where they did carpet and did big jobs and did that kind of thing, carpet. And so my brother know this person, and he's a little younger than we are, but by working. So I don't understand how this person was the one that took him to the store. So this person that took him to the store, we know him because we know their family, but he's younger. We went to school with like his uncles and aunts and that kind of thing. But he ended up taking my brother to the store at that time of morning. Now, the one took to the store, he knows Janice, the young lady. So I don't understand how he ended up doing that, because the only store that's open is Walmart at that time of morning, and it's convenience store. So he takes him to the store at that time of morning, and then 2:30, then he ends up out there in the middle of nowhere. And that person, his name is Bruce. He's no longer there. But my brother out there walking in the median gets hit by this SUV and killed just like that. And he's nowhere around. Now, mind you that the one that saw the accident or called it in said he didn't see anything. All that Miss Jack was talking about that a little bit ago. Well, that person won't remain anonymous, and his name is CJ, but I believe my brother would know him also. So he knows Bruce, the one took him to the store, and he also knows the young lady. And he said that he saw the SUV, one of the records, because that's what I pointed out when I went to the meetings, and that's what they didn't like, because I was pointing out things just like Miss Jackson was doing, whatever. He said he saw the SUV hit my brother, and he saw that what kind of a champagne color SUV in that, that model, whatever, and that it had the left tail light out, and it came around him and hit my brother. So he saw the tail light, he saw the tank, he saw if he didn't see the numbers all the way, he saw what state. So he's involved. So it was a total setup. And the reason why I'm going to tell, because I know y'all probably ask, well, why would my brother get in? Well, my brother, for one, he was working on his van, his work van, and so this person, that's what I don't understand. Now, I believe he did leave from home because his home was ransacked, kinda. Somebody had, like, maybe, I don't know if something took place there and they had made him get in or whatever, because he wouldn't. I don't think he would have gotten it, because he wasn't friends with this person like that. He just knew him from work, but they knew each other, and so he was set up, and that's how that works. But then the last thing I want to say about that is, it wasn't a drug thing. The only drug that my brother had in his system, which alcohol, that is a drug, if you want to say, but it was alcohol. And I don't understand how he had that much alcohol in his system, because I don't know what happened, but I do believe that the one that put him out there was a part of the setup, or he knows. And the thing about that is he was nowhere around. Now, last thing, the highway that she showed you. If you look at it, it's 2 lanes on one side, the medium, and it's 2 lanes on the other side. And it's kind of like a highway that leads from Georgia to Florida. It's kind of like a highway that trucks and everybody travel going. And it's out there in the middle of nowhere because you see all the woods and stuff. It's not that many houses. And so my brother could have been walking. And then he had a condition where he couldn't really walk that far because he had just stayed with us for a while, just before going back home, probably about a month. And then about 2 weeks later, then this happened to him. So those are the things I just want you all to understand. And I know it's more questions, and also it's been 10 and a half years. And I have one last thing because I keep trying to put it all that because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. But I will tell you this, I'm not afraid. I do know that because I'm just not afraid. But the thing about it is when you look at fighting for him for 10 and a half years, I'm alone, not by choice. You see, because they would not let me have, I could not get any help, but fighting for him for 10 and a half years, I've written letters all over the place. I've written letters to the governor and sent the governor even papers showing the unsigned papers and all that kind of stuff. And he has connections to Georgia, the one that was governor in Georgia at the time. He has connections. So it's a guy. I think I heard Miss Jasmine say, about pronouncing names and stuff like that. And last thing is that I went to the DOJ and they told me, take it back to local level. I did the commissioner's presentation. I went to the commissioner's meeting and all that. I wrote to the Georgia Southern Road, all kind of people. Called the Crump's office and all those, and they didn't do these kind of, you couldn't get nobody or whatever and all that kind of stuff. And just writing letters to all over, and just the DA. Now the DA was helping me at first also, but they told me that they could not do anything until they had a suspect. So it's not like I was just sitting all these years. No, I've been out there fighting, just like I told y'all before, just like Miss Jelani, Dave's mom, but she had a lot of help. I'm out there writing people and just because I wasn't able to get in touch with anybody anywhere, and I was writing and I was doing it most of the time. They tell you got to go back to local law enforcement. But I want to say one thing. That's one thing that I wish to have God have me live on this earth. But I'm going to fight till the day I die. I'm going to fight for me till justice or one or the other. But there should be some kind of check and balances on these law enforcement because they are investigating themselves. And so it's a problem. And anyway, that's the main thing I want to bring. And then the people that's kind of like saying, well, did I do anything? Yes. I've wrote all kinds of letters, all kinds of things. So it's not like I've just been sitting, and I helped, like I said, gave them all kind of information and helped them solve it because I brought it to their attention that, no, this is not an accident. And see, what's so amazing about that, they wanted to just call it an accident because it's 2:31. They didn't want to be out there anyway because you can see in the reports how kind of inconsistent and everything it is and all over the place. And when I bring the real deal up, then they look bad. And see, that's the other thing is why they really come after me, because they look bad because they did not do a thorough investigation from the very beginning. And when I brought it out to their attention, and with everything that's going on now, but anyway, I'm sorry to take all that, but I'll just do that because I'm just going to be honest. I don't know if I'll get another chance to talk again. I don't know. So y'all just please forgive me, but I'm trying to get it all out. And if you have questions, Miss Jazz,
yes, they have questions actually. Cheryl Nation says, first of all, they definitely saying this is a cover-up, this is a setup. Okay.
Yes.
And Kathy B says, keep fighting. Cheryl Nation says, is the chief, was he in charge? The one that was in charge then, is he still in charge now?
Yes, the chief is. The chief is. And I talked to him the other day, and I called him, and I had talked to him before that. I called him, and he said, "Oh, let me call Corporal Vincent and let me talk to him about it." I called him and asked him what was going on with the case.
Oh, that's
so
right.
he called me back the next morning and said, "Oh, yeah, I do remember more about your case, and that I turned it over. I did get some kind of unit, DICU, kind of like a unit that do some of it. I turned it over to them at some point. I gave it to them, the information to them at some point, and they couldn't find that. And Corporal Benson said that it's nothing they can do. They don't have no information. And then, bid you not, Miss Jasmine and myself, we verified the young lady, gave them the information. Right. And everything. Mm-hmm. So then he said, and then I told him some other things, but I'm not going to say, but I let him know that I had information and that I had the recordings from things that he said and so forth, and that it was, and then he said, "Oh, well, they said it was just a theory." Yeah, they do have a theory of maybe what happened, but then they can't prove it. Then he turns around and he says, "Well, I just don't know. I don't know anything else to tell you right now." And I told him, I said, "Well, if you want to be a part of the cup, you part of the cup, but he's not telling the truth, and you need to go and look at the case yourself and see." He's covering up. And then the sheriff, what makes it so bad, like I said, the sheriff Roundtree, had not talked to me, didn't talk to me at all. He's black. Okay? And we put him in office. Wow. Okay? And so, the chief, though, is the chief that's been over it all the time, yes. And so see how it changed. He come back and go try to tell me that. In other words, try to brush me off the other day and say, "Okay, well, nothing, whatever." And that's when I told him no again. And that's when all of the emails, all that stuff got shut down. Disappeared. You hear what I'm saying? Everything got just shut. I'm like, and I was talking to Miss Jazz, and it was going. I'm like, "Miss Jazz, you can't get nothing. You didn't get that." No, I said, "I didn't get that. Get it. No emails, no texts. I can't get none in and out, no nothing." And it says no online nothing. Access. I was texting her. Nothing. Google. I was texting her. She couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Hey, Shay, I see you, babe. Mwah. Cheryl Nation says, "Have you requested body cam footage from when the police came out that night?" No, I have not requested body cam footage but I do have the pictures like from the open records showing some of it, but it's not a whole lot. But I have not requested body because too, I was interested in, the report and what happened and what the witness had to say and so forth, and actually trying to once they did that it was a murder. You understand? They admitted it, but then they trying to still let it stay accident. Murder is a murder. Any way you look at it, but that's something that I might could do it, but by them doing what they were doing to me, they were trying to keep me from everything. Just that police report. I had to get the police report. Just a simple police report. You could just go and pick it up. They called the office. Call them first to see could they release it to me. I had to wait, sit there and wait till they call and all that. This is what I'm trying. When I went to get the autopsy report, I heard the office had done called corporate business to see could they give it to me because they saw me getting a report. Nothing's right. So that's something's definitely fishy. She says, please. She says, get that footage right away because that is very important, and that's public information. How would getting everything else? It took a while. It took for me to get everything. So if I ask for that footage now, and see, that's what you understand. Internal Affairs became a part of the problem because Internal Affairs was the one that turned around and they looking out for them. And that's when I call that office now, they see my number. You see what I'm trying to say? You see what I'm saying? I know. And I was able to get the chief because I called him directly because I had his direct number, and so I was able to him. It's the one you have to go to, the one for the open records. And they working along with my for the footage now. I will go and do that, but since they done did all of this, it's I'm gonna need somebody to fight with me and go in there to get it. That's why I'm coming on here, because I need all the actors, all the people that I can to come and help and go in there and get it. And if it's an open record to get that footage, because I know that they do get it and show it all up for news purposes and stuff like that. Whoever can get it, they may be able to get it before I can, because they will fight me hard to get it. But I will try if I have to. Yes.
Cheryl said she definitely wants to get together with us because she's going to reach out to Roland Martin and some other black media outlets.
I wish you would. And I'm gonna say something else too. I believe that they're listening. I believe because that's why they saw the live that I was coming on live, and they shut the whole, because this is the only way.
You said it too. You said they was going to do it. Yep.
And I told Miss Jasmine the other day, the Lord let me know they getting ready to do something else to you, so you go ahead and And Miss Jasmine, she was kind of quiet, and I was like, Miss Jasmine, yes, she did. They're getting ready to do something else to me. You see what they did. Yeah. Now, that's the other question is that when she do that, maybe they can get the footage first, because just like all the other news footage that come out on the news and different things, I know that they can get it before sometimes, a lot of times, because how do they get all this footage? Right. They request it. They may and see, they may not be able to kind of like do that to the if it's kind of like a representative person or agents or whatever that's used to doing that, they can't do that to them. They have to turn it over to them. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll have to. But it's been a long journey, so I really appreciate that.
That would be really helpful, because we need as much media and anybody that can help. Like, oh my God, because this doesn't make any sense. I mean, once she said she couldn't get text message and her emails were wiped out, I was like, what? They are really shutting this lady down. They're just like shutting her out. And it wouldn't make sense, because why would they do that if they don't have anything to hide? Are they involved in her brother's murder?
I tell you.
Allegedly? Are they? Because doing all this, that means that they're covering up some shit.
Yes. And the thing that you were saying about I was threatening away or whatever.
I was just about to ask you that.
I was telling you about the person. My brother had a kind of like a friend that he gave me some numbers before he got, because he knew something was gonna go up, because he wanted to make sure I had these numbers, and I was wondering, why you want me to have these? I already had these numbers. But it was this friend that's a mechanic that he left me the number, I guess, in case I needed, you know what I'm saying. So I called him after this happened, and because they were all like, I'm gonna be there for you and whatever. So I called him and I was talking to him, and I asked him, did he know the person, anybody by the name initials TJ, which is that TJ is the person that stayed there and called it in. Well, he stayed there and called it in, and then he hadn't told the truth and all that, and he's involved because it's all a setup. One called, she was the young lady, know all of them, and she got the person to take him out there, drop him off out there in the middle of nowhere, and then the car hit him, and then the one that's standing there and call it in and say that he didn't want to be involved. Anyway, that person, so I asked him, and I said, do you know anybody by the name of TJ? Because he had told them that he didn't want to get involved. Later on, they said they contacted him, and I don't know by his initials how they got it. But anyway, the coroner told me he contacted him for me. That was when the coroner was trying to help me. But then he came in with the police department and all that after that. And he told me that he didn't want to get involved, TJ, the one that was out there, because he was in trouble with the law, and that because the person that hit my brother would know him by his classic, I ain't gonna call the name of the car, those classic cars that they have. So I asked the mechanic, I said, do you know anybody about T? I said, because he has a classic car. And I said, and then at first he said TJ, then he said, oh. So then he told me he was getting ready to try to tell me, then he said, I'll get back with you. And to this day, I haven't been able to get him until he ain't called me back. You can't get him. In other words, he knows who this person is because of the cars, because the mechanic know those cars. He said, yeah, that's those cars that had those classic, he called a name on. And some people that know him told me after that said, you might want to not, pursue the case because it's not worth losing your life. So he had to talk to them about it. So in other words, they don't want to, my thing checked from that is these supposed to be my brother's friend, but then they don't want to snitch. And so
wow.
That's kind of how that was, because I know the only reason I'm talking about because I heard you mention about
and I was going to mention it, so I was going to ask you anyway.
That's how that went.
Wow.
Exactly. So how can you? Is there any while they are on there? I would like to ask some of them some of the ones in the chat. Have they had any experiences like that where the police department and the law enforcement or whoever have tapped their phone? They tapped my phone. She already said so. That's in addition to tapping my phone. So that's why I know they have been listening in on some of the conversation. That's why if they're listening now, okay, you thought you was going to stop me from getting on live, but you didn't. For getting information out there even more, you're not.
That's right.
And so there's got to be some way that they are investigated.
Right.
So I leave it at that because I don't want to say too much, but if it's some way that the whole department needs to be investigated.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Do anybody have any?
And the coroner's office. Oh, one last thing. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get it out.
No, get it out.
What's happened in the report that I sent, the report that I have from the coroner, that's one of the documents that's not signed.
I have one.
Can you send me that legal copy? And it's not signed because there's false statements on there, and because he said I was the last one to see my brother, but that's not true. Bruce, the one that took him to the store that was like told you what brother he admitted to taking my brother to he admitted to some he told them, and I told the policeman, I gave them his information, and I think Bruce probably admitted it to. That's how they know that they had a case, because he admitted that he said it was bad about Adrian. He was telling him, I was the last see, I took him to the store. So right at that same time, so if you took him to the store, where were you? When he hit, he out in the middle of nowhere. He out in the middle of nowhere. And how it hit my brother and left him out there. And it's just, I have the autopsy report. And by me being a nurse or whatever, and I had worked as a nurse in a good while, but everything that was broken, everything that was, everything, it's in that autopsy report.
Let's talk about his wallet. His wallet wasn't on him.
He did not have his wallet on him. And I asked, let me tell you something. In the means, and see, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what they think you just dumb. I asked him in the meeting. I said, well, where's his wallet? What happened? And one of the ones was in the meeting. He tells me, oh, well, it's probably was out there on the ground, I said, well, didn't y'all do a thorough, when y'all did the thing y'all supposed to do in the report, y'all should have found it. Oh, it might have got lost in the grass. I said, it ain't even, the grass ain't even that tall out there. He thought I was stupid. And when I questioned him like that in the meeting, then he did say, and he just got quiet then. Those are the kind of things that I've had to deal with these people. You understand what I'm saying? So I done been up to Chattanooga, man. I done talked to a little of all of them. And one of the detectives that's over kind of like a crime unit or whatever. I was able to talk with him at some point, but he got in with him too because he moved up to the marshals or whatever. He told me when I went in to see him, he talked to me shortly. He said, yeah, he said, you know what, that could happen. This exactly what you're saying, you're set up. He said, because I know how it works. You understand what I'm saying? And after that, it was like he got with them, and that was it. I've even talked to the GBI. And I done told y'all that too. GBI told me, oh, hold on, Miss Davis. They should be investigating this. I don't know why they not. Hold on. They told them, and I know what they did. They went and called them. And when he came back, oh, Miss Davis, there's nothing we can do. The whole countenance changed. So you see the kind of things I'm dealing with, just like Miss Delani, Mommy, you know, but it was just, it's just one of those things where right now, this is the limit. I'm pushed to the limit now. So everything that I gotta fight with. Yeah. Because this is what they did to me, and this is not legal. How could they do this to me to my phone?
Yeah,
that's illegal.
Yeah, and then that's what Tracy's saying. My thing is, why are they doing that with the phone if they're not involved?
That's what I'm saying. I need that brought
out. Yeah. This is definitely a lot, and a lot of corruption.
Did anybody else that they had their phones tapped or
no? Or any have anybody in the chat has any
have it to delete it and all that. I mean,
anything similar where you had your.
It's only that's how I know it's them, because the ones that was deleted out and blotted out and some kind of crazy email address was up there and all that. It's because it's only the ones what I talk to people that has connections to this case. Like when I was talking to Miss Jasmine, you know, emailing her, a couple of other people. And texting is only this information that's got to do with this my brother's case.
Yeah, Cheryl Nation said, can we do a 3-way call with you tomorrow? Because she's free in the afternoon. I'm down with that. Yeah.
Well, tell her also, I want everybody to know, I don't know what they're gonna do to me. I don't know. Only way that I don't answer is that if they don't cut my phone all the way off, but I already told Ms. Jazz I'll try to get back to you, and then I'll let you know so that it, you know, I still can make some communication with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm in for that, and I know they're sitting there listening. So if they're sitting there listening, they're gonna do all they can, but this is illegal. This is what I'm trying to say. And my thing is, who I'm gonna go report this to them? I'm sorry that I'm kind of getting kind of all.
No. This is what you're here for.
Turn me down, and I did because but the question is, and this is a fair question. Who I'm gonna report this to? That
right.
I feel to myself, I gotta go to them.
Right. That's what we need to figure out. Who can she go to? Cheryl Nation says she had her phone tapped before, but she was under investigation for the feds.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So this is illegal because how could you do this to me? I mean, so after did they go all the way as far as her? Well, I don't know during that time if they had emails and all that, but did they go all the way as do other things to the phone, or just they was tapping and listening in, or did they do the emails and all that? They doing my whole thing and cut my whole internet off. So and then I have accounts, you know, where I be checking on paper. I can't even do anything on there. Wow. On my phone and the internet. Cause I'm telling they said off.
I want to look up and see how what can we do, what can be done about that, because you know it pissed me off when we was talking about this earlier, because I was like, damn, it's like a confinement. You know, they're just trying to trap her into one confinement, keep her hostage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really, that's a threat.
Yeah, this is a big threat.
Every time I do something, Then here they come with something else. And I told you that they fixing with something big now. And so, what are they going to do next?
Cheryl said, yes, but I never had my services cut off. That's illegal.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But she would hear clicking sounds in the line. It sounds like a landline. And Kathy B says the same thing. She wondered if her phone is tapped because it sounds like a landline.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but when they do this, and if we doing it, we'll be under the jail.
Wow.
But they doing this, and I know. I saw his name come up there.
So she definitely know because his name came up there. So he's bold. He's bold. He's bold.
So in other words, he managing my account.
Right. His name popped up on the thing.
That top of my phone now, it'll come up there, MB on there, some kind of MG or something, a capital M and a G. So he's managing it.
So he's very bold. He's letting her know, yes, me. He's letting her know. Wow. It's like all this for what?
Because and let me tell y'all something, and that's why I asked God, I said, in the means of different things, I told them I wasn't about them, none of that. All I want y'all to do is bring those to justice that killed my brother. And that's all I said. I don't care if y'all didn't do a thorough investigation in the very beginning. I could care less about that. Yeah, I should be mad about it. And I said, but I can overlook that if y'all just arrest these people and bring to justice. I'm good with that. But rather than to do that because they didn't do it and they look bad because of all this information, all this stuff, they got it right in front of them. They rather do this.
Cheryl said, wow, he's out of line. Yeah.
They rather do this.
He's very bold.
And that's why I say, okay, then you got we have the black mayor. Well, when I did commission to me, he did call him and they did call me. It's the same old thing. They all friends.
Right.
Okay? And then rather than to do the right thing, just like some of these others, you would think that they would be the ones trying to help at least do the right thing, not to say they're going to take it for the wrongdoing, but when you see something is not right, that's you're supposed to stand up for that. So my question is to the chat, just like I asked you, who am I going to report this to?
Right.
I can't report it to them because they're the ones that's doing it.
Exactly.
They're the one that's doing it. So who else can you report to illegal tapping and that kind of thing? That's the question, in which nobody don't need to have to answer that right now. They can answer it in secret if they have whatever where they can talk to you where it's kind of like a privacy thing. But I'm up to it to the limit right now. I'm up to the limit, and I've been fighting, and I just been fighting, and what else can we say?
Cheryl says you're going to have to get a burner phone because at this point they're going to know your every move, and anybody who would tap your phone is dangerous.
I know.
So,
but with that, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if they listen, they're trying to get an upper hand. But even with it, that's what I was thinking. But even with that, will I be able to get my internet on there and stuff? No, because that's the only thing. I didn't even change numbers.
She has an idea, but she'll talk to you. She says she has an idea, but we'll talk about it tomorrow because you can't talk about it on here.
Exactly. And I changed phone numbers way back some years ago, because I knew they had the thing on there on my phone and stuff from me getting to anybody. It was the same thing because they had put it on there nationwide, and what it is, anytime I get a phone, I have to have my name on the carrier, right? And so if I change numbers, that's what happened. It was still on the wire because it goes by, because my name, I had to get another phone. I just changed phones and numbers. but it was still where they had access because I had to sign for the phone. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. So they were still able to do that.
Damn.
But this right here, that's why I hope somebody get infuriated about this, because when it comes to this limit, for them to do this, all the tapping, all of this flagging my phone, all this anything to do with my brother's case, not wanting to get information. And then the last case, they done shut my whole phone down except for the calls. And maybe the reason they didn't do that because that really would have been a issue. But then they still may do that, but they shut down the main thing that they thought I couldn't, stop my communication as far as they saw the emails to the act. They saw the emails, we had and all that kind of stuff. They saw everything. So is it anything else you wanted to cover or that bothered you about the case or anybody else? I'm just.
Cheryl says tomorrow she'll talk to us. She has an idea for you, but I'm definitely gonna tonight. I'm gonna be looking into a lot of stuff for you and see about I can find out. This bothers me.
I hope that you all stay safe. So I don't want anybody else to get, but I do know that it's nothing. It's nothing really. They cannot stop the freedom of speech with your platforms and stuff. But I do know. I just want you all to know that I am grateful. And
hey, Adrian.
She's gonna try. What time did she say? She don't know.
Just in the afternoon. In the afternoon.
Okay, but you'll call. I'll see your number first. Right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right then. What else is it that I need to say? You all want to say?
We are grateful that you came on here and definitely keeping you in our prayers. And we got your back. We are here. It doesn't end here.
Yes.
We're still going to be talking about it on here. And like I was saying before, there's a lot of cases that people talk about on here that gets light. And they talk about it, but what about the cases like this that doesn't get the light, that nobody knows about?
Exactly, and it's the same words. It's the same kind of corruption department. It's just that theirs is on camera, and they got caught, and then you have all on the media coming out and standing with them, and some of that is all about the money too. And I'm just gonna say it because I'm who I am, and when I say something, I can stand on it. And that's one of the things is that the trending and things also, but you also put a lot of stories that otherwise would not be heard and have no voice at all.
Right.
So that's what we're grateful for.
Yes. Thank you for Cheryl says thank you for sharing, and yes, we are in this together.
Okay.
And she says anytime in the afternoon. So we're gonna be talking. We'll do a phone three-way, me, you, and Cheryl in the afternoon. Okay. And I know I missed y'all too, Brooklyn Squad. Hey, as one divided we four. Y'all missed my live. I'll be doing so much, guys. You have no idea behind the scene. I'll be doing so much, but I still be pushing out those videos for y'all. But I know y'all want me to go live more often. But catch my podcast. Y'all have to catch my podcast. I'm going to drop the link down. If anybody has the link to my podcast, can you drop it down below in the comment section, please? I have to do a podcast on her brother. I'm going to do that tonight, actually, because every story I do on here, I do it on my podcast. So check out my podcast. It's on Anchors. I've been had that podcast for 2 years, guys. I've really never talked about it, but yeah, I should. I should promote my podcast, right? And we're definitely we're in this together. We're in this together. And I'm gonna call you tomorrow with Cheryl Nation.
Okay.
And
very grateful. Very grateful. Give all honor and glory to God too for you all just providing a voice.
Yeah. Yes, because this has to get out. Like, oh, this is what it shouldn't be like this, but it is, and it's a shame that it's so corrupt, you know what I mean? And no one even knew about the story. Like, how this has happened 10.5 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
she still hasn't got justice. And
Right?
now they've been taunting her. They're
I'm telling you.
taunting her.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, every time I want to say this because I want to give all the honor and glory to God. Like I said, every time I say, well, God, I can't do this no more. You know, I done exhausted, you know, sitting there and done it. I done talked, I've been you know, talking to G, I did this. And God give me that little strength just to keep on. And if it's taking this long to get there, I don't care how long it takes. I just know that I could not give up.
Can
And
you
that I could not give up. And God gives me the strength to keep on going on the times when, just like I was telling y'all, when I had nobody and I couldn't get nobody, I couldn't get these responses back from the GBI and all these things. Those are the things that I guess God gave me the strength, said, oh, just keep on going, just keep on going. So I know what it is to go through some of these things that some of these families are going through, especially Miss Jelani's mom. And that was one of the things that got me. But I said, you know what? I said, but the part about it is that I didn't have anybody.
right.
Because not by choice. Because was keeping me at that time from, like I said, but at least some of the other families like that was at a point, maybe they had first in that, but they were able to get all these big news coverage to come along afterwards and those kinds of things. And so what I'm trying to say is we need all of those news coverages and things shared on our cases that's not heard and not considered as high profile but low profile, but everybody matters to God. So
because when you did the first news, when you first did the by Sharon Nation, when you first did the first news report, you wanted to do another one and they shut you down. They wouldn't let her go to the media. Am I correct?
No, I was doing at the first beginning, the first years or whatever, and I was going to meetings and stuff like that. I was doing the right thing, going to chain of command and having these meetings and letting them know what I thought. And they were like, okay, we're going to work on it, whatever. And they wasn't, and I was pushing it, and I was getting the reports and stuff. So at that particular time, the statute of limitation was over for the civil thing because I didn't want no civil thing. I just said, I just want y'all to find out. But see, after that, that's when, and then I was getting records and stuff and all this stuff. That's when they really started coming after me then because it's okay, the civil part over, but the murder, it will always be a murder until somebody is kind of like suspect and they're charged and and on and on. It would always be that. But as far as them kind of doing what they need to do, this week they just really have just said, okay, we're just gonna. In other words, this was all meant to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Stop instead of all the other time. Okay, we're just gonna slow it down. So let's see. The media was helping me at first during this time to the first few years because I don't know if you haven't read the whole news article that and I have it from the paper and I tried to. I don't know if I can't send it to you now, but anyway, look it up. It's in the Augusta Chronicle, and it was around 2016 where I wrote. Where they did do the cold case unit was doing some stories at that time, and they did a story if some of y'all have pull it up, it's Augusta Chronicle, and it was around 2016.
I seen the story.
You seen it?
Yeah, it's very small.
You have a whole. You said you just have a little paragraph.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot to it.
It's more. Did it? Will it tell you in there where I said that what I thought it was a murder? It was a murder and all that. See, you probably got. So you got to look and see if they see. So you have the full story, because it was on the first page, and then the continuation was on another page.
Oh, see, I didn't see all that. I just saw a small little clip.
You have to get the whole clipping.
Okay.
Okay. And what they were doing, they were helping me at first. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And when I got to doing that, and they saw I was so real and fighting for my brother, and then we keep trying to get the records, that's when they shut me down. In other words, so that when I called them, they don't pick up. When I talk to them about a case, when they see my number, talking about the case, the DA, all of the agencies I was getting coverage with, the news stations, all of them at that time was helping me and putting a little snippet story out there every year just to keep his name alive, to say, if you know it, you know. And after that, that's when they did what they did, and that went statewide. So it's all over, like, I call somewhere like whatever, or agent, something like that, or the news station, and to this day, they see my number, and even with my new number, because it's associated with my name and number, and my brother's case. So
can you tell?
That's where they stopped. That's when they really started after me. These last years, okay.
Okay. Oh, you still there? Okay.
But now, and I even sent a letter to one of the anchors that did stories like this, that they caught up some other stuff that the police department was doing was corrupt. And they put it on the news. But then my story, I sent information and paperwork and stuff, nothing was said. I ain't getting no reply, and I sent it to them to check into it. Nothing. And I tell you that to this day, that's the same thing. I call the news station now. Every now and then I'll call it just to see what they're gonna say. If anybody, they don't pick up. They look up, either if they do, it's some kind of way that I have no contact with the news media now, the newspaper. The Augusta Chronicle.
Wow.
And even after all of that, I was still trying to fight and still trying to find people that will listen and everything. And some that did try to help, once they found out what the police was involved. See, there's not a lot of firms, law firms, or agencies that will go against law enforcement, because they know most of the time they can't go up against them.
Right.
Because just look at these cases on now, these type of, a lot of times, if it weren't for the videos and stuff, a lot of this stuff is undercover. They doing it, but they're not getting caught, and they're covering for each other.
Basically, yeah. You see that a lot these days, also. A lot more. Actually, can you before we go, let's talk about your brother a little bit. Can you tell us who was your brother?
Well, there were just two of us, and we were right behind each other in age. So I am a little older up, and that's why I know that I really want to see justice. And he was the type of person. He was kind of what can I say? He could sing, and just a musical instrument just came natural to him. And I guess so, because all of my uncles and aunts on my dad's side, they used to sing or whatever. So it just came natural to him. He loved music. He cooked. He loved to cook, and he was his entrepreneur. Like I said, he just kind of was kind of like he just loved to joke all the time. Everybody would tell you he kept you laughing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He kept you laughing, and he was kind of quiet in his own way because he did like being kind of out. That's why he had moved out in the area. You know what I'm trying to say? He liked being kind of out, kind of, not, kind of out like other houses around. But you know what I'm saying? That was just him. That was him. And if you were his friend, you were his friend. And the other thing about him was that he loved my children. And they loved him. And that's what hurts the most also, because they took away somebody that it was just really hard. It was just really hard, and I do believe that he was kind of like, what can I say? He was kind of like I guess you could say he loved to dress, and he always would. He that was just, and I put it like this too. Also, he was the type of person that I think that's why when people gravitated to him, and because of his laughter and his just joking all the time, he just kept you laughing. He just kept you laughing. But then on the side, when it comes to the job, that's why he started the business and whatever, because he was good at it and people always asked for him. He did big jobs and things like that, and he enjoyed that kind of way. As far as being a brother, that hurt. That's what hurts me also, because I knew when he came over to stay with us, because I told you he had the medical things going on, and before he had went back home, and he came over to stay, and we went back to when we were like 2 or so, just talking about everybody, just having, talking. But then when he gave me those numbers, and I didn't understand it at first, but he knew something was going on. But he did, and then see the thing about it with this young lady, he didn't tell me a whole lot. He wouldn't tell me a whole lot about it because he knew I would work, because that's just how close we were. But he, so he was kind of like protective of me in a way, like he didn't want me to worry.
Right, right, yeah.
So we had a bond. You understand what I'm saying? We had a bond, and that's who he was. And by him knowing that it was just the two of us, you understand what I'm saying? It was just two of us. Yes.
He sounded like he had a wonderful spirit and great personality.
Yes. Well, in his younger days, just like all of us, he went through some things and whatever, but as he started, how you come in, that's when he started really building his business and coming forth and just really being who, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Being who he was. Being who he was. And it's a lot more that I can say, but I'm not going to say, because that just tells you a little bit about who he was. Yeah. And why we miss him so much. And I still shed tears, but what can I say? And I will say this, and I do think about him a lot, and I still do miss him, and that's why I'm fighting for him, because he would do the same thing for me. Yes, he would do the same thing for me. He would do the same thing for me.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing those memories with us. We really, truly appreciate it. And we are here for you, and we are definitely grateful that you are family to us, Brooklyn Squad family.
Yes.
We welcome you, and wow.
Yes, I will say something else too. He did not take a lot of pictures. That's one thing. That's why I said that was a side of him, that he did not take a lot of pictures. He just never did, never have. So he didn't have that many pictures out there. And I know you mentioned earlier that about what Janice had done with the girl, what she had done. The pictures, a whole lot of pictures wasn't in there because he didn't have a whole lot. But what might have been what did have, he came to my house one night before he had to come and stay with, and brought this bag with all of his important papers and things in there, and told me he was really mad. And he said, "I want you to keep these. I want you to put them." So I, told him where to put them in, whatever. I said, "Oh, sure." So I never looked in the bag because that was his bag, and that was, his important whatever. I just took it. I knew he was really mad. And come to find out, though, when he needed a couple of things out, he came over and then he went and got what he needed. I never looked in the bag because that was his bag. I saw him bringing on. He knew that's how I was. Mm-hmm. And how I got to look in the bag was after he was killed. And, looking for the insurance papers and all, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And I opened the bag then, and that's when I saw some of the important papers was missing. Some of the papers was torn up. His license was cut in half. It was an old license, and some papers and things was cut up and torn up. That's when I knew what was in the bag and why he was so mad when he came over and brought them. So what he did was he got all I guess he could and put them in that and brought them to me for safekeeping. Because that person was on a rampage. You see what I'm saying? And he brought them to me. So I don't know, he never did take a whole lot of pictures. He just never did want to be seen like that. And that picture that's on there is not a clear picture, but if you do the whole thing, you could see at least a whole picture, if it's back a little bit or whatever. But that was a picture that I had, and I just wanted to clear that up also and bring that to your attention that how also this person was, that person had done all that. And see, that was one of the reasons he said, "No, doesn't around me anymore." But when at that time it was too late. And mom always tells us, and I just want to say this because I want to say this to everybody: listen to your parents. Some of the things that they told us, we didn't want to listen to them and hear at that time. But as we live on, we see. My mom and them used to always tell us that trouble is easy to get in, but hard to get out of. And so when you find yourself in there, that's when it's too late. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you try to get out, then you see what you have to do to get out of it. No. And so he knew something was going to happen. He knew. Yes, he did. He knew. And he knew exactly what was going on. And I look at that as he wouldn't tell, like I told you, he wouldn't tell me a whole lot. But I do know the last time coming up to this, weeks before when this person's supposed to have left, a couple of weeks before this happened, I went out there because I went to take him, so he told me to I went out there to take him some, and I talked to him at the gate in the yard, whatever. I didn't go in. I said, I just came, no, I'm not going to get it. He said, "Oh, you can't come." He said, "Nobody here but me." That's his way. That was his way of telling me that person wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Giving you a signal, yeah.
Gone in, but she wasn't. She probably was gone to plot because a few weeks later, after that, that's when this happened. That's when this happened. Some things about it too, and that gave information to those. They tried to say they talked to everybody, but they didn't even talk to everybody because I had to push for them to even talk to these main ones. Because at the time, they just wanted to just say it was an accident, and that was it. So anyway, that's all I want to say about that. All I'm trying to do is to clear up some things and make sure that we put the right information out there, and that if I can clear it up or make sure that you understand it, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I appreciate you. And I just appreciate you all just giving me a voice.
We appreciate you coming on the platform, and we're going to keep you in prayer and continue to talk about this story, continue to expose the people that are not helping and trying to shut you down. And we thank you for coming on here. And I will talk to you tomorrow, though. Okay?
Okay then. All right. All right.
Okay.
God bless you all. Okay.
You
Bye bye.
too. Okay. Bye bye. Wow, Brooklyn Squad. That was a lot. When I tell you it was deep, it was deep. And my daughter is like texting me crazy stuff for her crazy behind. Hold on, guys. When I told y'all it was gonna be deep, it's messy. It's wow. It's sad. You know what I mean? Like it's really, really sad too because when I was younger, I thought the police was here to help us. You know, help serve and protect, not help sabotage and kill and hide evidence and be destructive and doing the same shit that these other criminals are doing. You know, as a kid, you grow up thinking, oh, I always say the NYPD because I'm from the city, you know, New York police. But, you know, you grow up thinking, my daughter's being a clown. You grow up thinking the cops are protecting us. They're supposed to protect us. Thugs with badges. Ooh, you better say it, Kathy. Okay. Thugs with badges. I could say some more real names for their answers, but you know, child. I like that one. Thugs with badges. Okay. They just something else. Oh, we gotta pin that one. Thugs with badges. Baby, when I tell you. Oh, tapping phones now. They are making it seem like she is a criminal. They supposed to be doing this to the criminals that murdered her brother, her only sibling. Crazy, y'all. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all. Bruce, one of the so-called friends, because you know everybody they want to be a friend, right? One of his friends, right? I reached out to him yesterday. Let's see if he reach out back. Since he was the last one to see him. Now, let's expose some pictures. Bruce. Are we talking about her brother's friend, the one who said he was last seen, right? He saw her brother last. So I think I found him. If that's him. If that's him, y'all. Now, I forgot what she said. Do anybody remember the last name of Janice? She said Janice something. The girlfriend's last name. His girlfriend, the brother's girlfriend's last name, I forgot. It was Janice something. But I sure had a picture of her before. I forgot. Okay. What y'all think about this? This is some heavy stuff, right, y'all? When you are trying to do everything to sabotage a woman to solve her brother's murder, it speaks to me of you're involved. First of all, this paper is not even signed by the authorities at all. Signed. It's the paper that she was talking about, not signed. Okay. Y'all like my forgot y'all. Look, y'all. See the blue in them? This is my new glasses, y'all. It came yesterday. Um, Thank you, Shy. Big time setup, right? How would this man be at the store but wind up on the highway at 2:30 a.m.? And another problem I got is TJ. What was he doing? Tracy, baby. What was TJ doing at 2:30 a.m.? The one who saw the accident. What was he doing at 2:30 a.m.? And why was he allowed to just leave the scene, just drive off after talking to the cop like that? I mean, I guess you could leave the scene after talking to a cop. I don't know. It just sounds weird to me. But what was he doing at 2:30 a.m. in the morning on the highway? Where was he coming from? And Sharon Nation made a good point. Where is the body footage? Where's the camera body footage at? That is very, very important. Now, this happened in 2014. Back then, they had the footage. They started make. They should have them, right? Because I can't remember what year they came out with them. But I would think so. I think that's why Sharon Nation asked what year did this happen. His shoes have been removed at impact due to the violence of the collision. His hips appear to have been dislocated. His pupils were fixed and dilated. That's the problem I have right there. Because he wasn't a drug addict. Why was his pupils fixed and dilated? Did they poison him? Whoever he was hanging with, did they give him something in his beer to make him weary and then threw him out on that highway? And he probably was like a little weary, like not knowing what was going on, and that's how he got hit. Because why was his pupils fixed and dilated like that? Where's the autopsy? Listen, this a lot. That always bothered me. That part right there, because he wasn't a drug addict, he wasn't a user. So that tells me that they did something to this man. They did something to this man and put him on that damn highway. Or am I just bugging out and just not getting the shit correct? I mean, maybe I'm just, I don't know. Y'all, I gotta do a podcast on this. Y'all gotta go check out my podcast. How many of y'all listen to my podcast? Be honest. Don't lie. Come on now. Give it to your girl. Oh yeah, there's another thing. I do have and I wanted to tell her and I forgot to mention this to her, but I'm gonna let her know. I have on Facebook now, right? I made a Brooklyn Squad True Crime Facebook. You do listen to my podcast, Tracy? Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Aw, that means so much to me. Y'all don't know. Um, and I know Cheryl Nation started listening to it. I sent it to her too. Yeah, thank you. Um, Brooklyn Squad, True Crime on Facebook, right? Is a room there for us to talk. No anchors. I'm on Anchor. I might be on Spotify. Who knows? I think I am on Spotify. Look, I wouldn't even know child play. Am I on Spotify? I think I am. I'm on Spotify too, y'all. Ow, stop playing. Look, Tracy supporter, baby. Tracy. And I'm on Spotify. I'm on Spotify. Hey. Y'all better get it, baby. Get it, get it, get it. Hey. I need to get a radio station going. What y'all think about that? Oh, I just thought of that too. A radio station. How do you do that? Because I think it would be good for people to call up like she just did. You know what I mean? I think what do y'all think? What do y'all think about Brooklyn Squad radio? What do y'all think if we had a radio station? Y'all know I be jumping through every little thing when it comes to. Thank you, Kathy. or where people could call in and talk about these crimes. How do I do that? That's going to be next. If not a radio station, fine. This is a podcast. All right. So I have a lot of stuff that I need to. Tracy said, hell yeah. All right, Tracy, we got to talk about it then, boo. We got to figure this out, how we need to, because victims families needs to come in and talk about things that are what they're going through. You saw how she was just letting it off, and I'm glad she had this platform to tell y'all what's going on. Because sometimes people don't want to show their face and come up to the front. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't want to do that. So if I could have a way where people could call in, because I've seen other YouTubers do that, that would be good. So that's going to be what I'm going to work on next. That's what we're going to do on here. I need to get the right lighting. I need to get some stuff going. It ain't going to happen by tomorrow, y'all. But it's going to happen. That's going to be in the works. I just thought of something. That is going to be in the works. I'm going to put something together. But for now, thank you for joining Brooklyn Squad Real Life Drama, where we let the voices of the victim's family be heard. Share this video on Facebook, Twitter, or the platforms, Twitch, TikTok, everywhere. Share the video. People need to know what's going on. This is where the victims' families can be heard because their voice matters. They matter. You matter. I matter. We matter. The victims matter. Yes, I'm going to work on that tonight, Tracy. Cheryl Nation was telling me that too. Yep. Google number. Yep. The victim's family matter. What the cops are doing to Miss Davis is not right. You cannot shut a sister down. His only sister. For her not to want to get justice for her brother. Officer, what about if this was your sister, your brother, your father, your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather, your daughter, your niece, your son? And you wanted to get justice, officer. And people were shutting you out, tapping your phones, shutting you out from your emails, shutting down your social media. How would you feel? Not letting you go to the public. How would you feel? But you cannot shut Brooklyn Squad up. The victims matter. Their families matter. They matter. And on this platform, they will always have a voice. Thank you for joining Brooklyn Squad Real Life Drama. As you see, it's called Real Life Drama because the police always got it to be some bullshit drama, and we expose the drama. And if it's not them, it's the corruption. And we will continue to talk about it. But we need to figure out how can we help fix it. So that will be on the next one. We're going to talk about how can we help fix it. I'm Jay, and I'm out. Thank you. Peace. Bye, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you. And I love every one of you. Thank you so much. Please listen to the podcast. And also, thank you for liking my videos and everything else. I appreciate it. Let's get up. Let's get up. Let's get up. Get it 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 up. And I still got work to do after I close down this, because I still have to do her brother's podcast, get this video out, do some more other videos, and I probably I'm gonna drop some more videos for you guys tonight, okay? Yeah, drop some more videos for you guys. All right, I love you guys. Peace. I'm out. Thank you.